Welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. Thank you very much for being here. Make sure you to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Why it's very important for us to continue to grow the Latino space in YouTube. So make sure you go and subscribe. It's definitely for free. I don't know if you try it, unless you pay premium, and don't quote me on that. However, please do so. Today we have an amazing episode because we have a woman entrepreneur with an amazing entrepreneur spirit, owner of Elote100do right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Rosa Sandoval en la casa. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Thank you very much for, don't worry about the noises.
Okay.
Thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate you. I met you, I think it's been almost a year or some change,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's almost gonna be a year. I think it was in May.
Yeah. So
Yes,
we're doing an event. We're looking for some vendors. So happened to
Mhm.
be that you DM and we got connected, and Carlos fell in love with the elotes.
Thank
I think that day
you.
he kind of like the couple,
Yes,
and
I remember.
I know you
Mhm.
got barely started at that time, so it was amazing to
Yes,
connect and meet you. So
yes,
thank you very
and
much
I'm
for
never gonna forget that day.
only
Like,
on the
thank you
move
so
at
much
one
for the
time.
invite. Like, I remember, I feel like it was my first sellout.
Was it?
Yeah, that event. It was.
Yeah,
It
that's
was.
awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good feeling. So I really enjoyed it
I
and met a lot of
appreciate it.
great people. Yeah.
Yeah, you were actually a fan of one of the persons that was there, Josie. Like you seen her
Josie,
music,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We met in high school. I think her and my husband knew each other, and I knew her brother, so we were
Oh,
kind
that's
of
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
I'm
were
happy that
new.
that event paid out really good for you. And
Thank
yeah, let's get
you.
started. First of all, we're gonna go ahead and start with a segment that I like to call Preguntas al Chile. Preguntas al Chile. If you like this, we're still
Preguntas
working on
al
some more
Chile.
graphics. Don't worry about all that. I got some stuff I gotta do for Carlos before he puts it together. Here we go. ¿Estás lista? Are you
Sí.
ready?
Yes, sir.
Tacos o tortas?
Ooh, good question. Oh my gosh. Those are my two most favorite Mexican antojitos. Oh my gosh. I gotta go with tacos.
¿Tacos? ¿De qué
Tacos.
prefieres? What type?
De suadero.
¿Suadero?
Yeah,
Some
from
peop-
Chilangos Tacos.
Yeah. Here in
They're
the
yes, in Dallas. Like if you have not been to Chilangos Tacos, they're like you're missing out.
Yeah.
They're like the actual street tacos from Mexico. Like
You get the same
yeah,
feeling,
you
the
get
same
the same
flavor?
yeah.
Nice. Okay. Corn tortilla or flour tortilla?
Corn.
Eso. Mexican coca or jarrito? The
Jarrito.
drinks. Jarrito. ¿Qué
Mhm.
sabor de jarrito?
Fresa.
Fresa.
Fresa,
Okay.
fresa. Yeah.
Agua de horchata, jamaica or tamarindo?
Jamaica.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Jamaica. Salsa verde, salsa roja.
Salsa verde.
Salsa verde?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I like salsa verde too.
Salsa verde, yeah.
Menudo or pozole?
Pozole. 100%.
Yeah. So the pozole is okay. So there's different types of pozole, like the red one and the white one or the green one. Which one do you prefer?
Oh my god, good question. I feel like it depends like who makes it cuz
Yeah.
not every pozole tastes the same.
Right.
So I prefer my mom's red pozole 100%. Like I don't eat just any pozole. Like to be honest, when I go to a restaurant, like I don't even get pozole because I know I'm not gonna get the same taste.
Yeah.
So I just stick to my mom's red pozole and then my suegra's green pozole de pollo.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's very specific about the pozole she likes.
Yes.
Churros or flan?
Flan.
Okay.
Yes.
Valentina, Tapatio, Cholula, or Tabasco hot sauce.
Valentina.
And the pastry with las conchitas, do you like the pink ones, the white ones, or the brown ones?
The brown ones.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Chocolatito.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's not even close to the same kind of questions, but I think we started because Carlos likes to entertain, just like myself, some conspiracies, like just what if or what if it's
Right?
possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a conspiracy theory that you heard one time that somebody was saying, and you're like, or you saw a video, it's like that gotta be true. That's gotta be true. It's very likely that could be true. What could that be?
Oh, the first one that came to my mind right now, I think it was like about the Matrix or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like ever since I was like a teenager, I've been hearing that word, and um, I started growing up and started hearing more about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is this exactly, you
Yeah.
know? So there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it, but
It doesn't help
so
whenever Elon Musk says something about it could, like, the likelihood could be a very strong possibility that could
right?
be a thing. And
Yeah.
then the way the games are so becoming so good was not to say that somebody had been working on something like that for a long, like other higher beings that
Yes.
that we don't realize if we are or not.
Exactly.
'Cause
So
you see all
that
the
is the what if, like, you don't know,
you see
right?
all the little videos be popping up on TikTok or any other ones about the glitches and stuff like that, and it'll be like
Mhm.
either the camera flickered or something really
Right?
happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are strange. For you, when you hear the word Latino or Latina, I don't know if you ever heard the term Latinx. What first comes to mind when you hear those terms?
Luchadores.
Luchadores,
Yeah.
fighters.
Fighters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you
Mhm.
care if anybody calls you Latina? Do you prefer being Mexican American? What do you prefer for you, or you don't mind?
I don't mind, to be honest. I mean, as long as I speak, you know, Spanish, English, like I don't care what people really think or, would want to call me. So,
What do you find yourself speaking more usually, Spanish or English? When it always depends who you with.
um, yeah, I feel like it depends who I'm with.
Yeah.
I speak a lot of Spanglish too. So,
Feel free to speak Spanglish here. We're not against it
yeah.
either. Mayoría va a ser en inglés, but if you want to
Yeah.
switch it, like
Mhm.
we're so good, like boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 just like that.
Great.
I know you're jealous. Non Spanglish speakers. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your background as far as your family. Is your family from Mexico? Are they from here, from the Dallas area? You always been
They're
here?
from Mexico.
Yeah. What?
Mhm.
¿Qué parte?
My mom is, I believe she grew up in Zacatecas
Mm-hmm.
and moved to the city, or in Zacatecas en un rancho.
Mm-hmm.
And then she moved to this a little bit more of the city in Torreon, Coahuila. And that's where she met my dad,
In
in
Torreon.
Torreon,
So
Coahuila.
your
So
dad is from
yeah.
Torreon.
Hmm.
And do you know a little bit about how they got to the States? Did they come here directly to the Dallas Fort Worth area, or were they anywhere else in the States?
So my dad initially went to Arizona. He's still there, I believe. And my mom came to Dallas.
Mm.
Yeah, because one of her sisters was here, so she followed along, and we're here.
Yeah. Did they ever tell
Yeah.
you like how they crossed over, how they got here? Was there
Um, I believe my mom told me. I think she came in el autobús, if I'm not mistaken.
just the bus
Yeah.
hopped over? Nobody really asked you any
Yeah,
questions, and
I
yeah,
think so. I think it was easier back then to, like, cross over. I don't know.
many years ago that you
Many
got
years
here.
ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were born here in the Dallas area. You've been here in the Dallas area, or qué
Yes.
area?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have been for what, 22 years,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. 22 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, okay, so whenever you think of where you were growing up in the Dallas area, what area exactly were you growing up? Was it
Um
Oak Cliff, West
More
West
like,
Dallas?
no, I feel like it's North Dallas, right by North Park Mall,
Hmm.
like around that area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So whenever you were growing up, what are the memories of you growing up that you can recall the most? Whether it would be music, playing,
I
something.
remember I loved playing outside with my friends. I never liked being home. To this day, like, I don't like being home. I just like being out, like, just at the park, or, now with my family. But then it was with my friends. Like, I remember riding scooters, bicycles, playing dodgeball, kid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really see that a lot nowadays with teenagers or kids.
Yeah. Do you
I
try
feel like,
to implement that with your kids whenever
yes.
get them out there, get in the park, be
Yes,
active?
of course. Yeah, my son loves it. He
Yeah,
loves to be outdoors. He loves to go to the park and play with his dad.
that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. So you first of all, let me tell me about the name. I know if I remember correctly, it has to do with a little bit with one of Bad Bunny's song. Por ciento, ¿cómo se llama? Algo así, right?
Yeah.
But then you use
Un
el
por
un
ciento.
por ciento, but you I don't know why I can't remember that. But you kind of combined that with the name of what it
Yeah.
was going to be your company,
Yeah.
right? When did that came to be? How did you came up with it?
It's actually kind of funny. So I was thinking of all these names, right? And then as I was thinking it, like I was sending them to my husband, I was like, how does this sound? Or how does this name? And then he would give me his opinion. He was like, no, no, no. And then I was like, well, you don't like any of them. Like what? And then I was trying to be creative as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Un Por Ciento song came up. And then I was like, they wrote it different. So why don't I try that, try to mix it with the name.
Yeah.
So that's how it came about. So I was like, I was trying to mix like elote. At first, I think I told my husband elote, elote, or elotejanos or something like that, trying to be creative with Texas because I'm from Texas. Or not from Texas, but like I've been here most of the time, but it didn't work out. And then I was like, elote siendo, but I was like, okay, cien. And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to put 100 instead of the word.
Yeah.
So that's how it came about. I mean, it was just, uh, I don't know, it just popped in my head.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
The
So,
any other runner-ups besides those that you remember? Los Tejanos, kind of interesting.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, I think that was one. And then, um, I can't even remember of the other ones, to be honest, right now. But I have them saved. So I'm sure I'll go back
Nice.
and
And
look
then
at them.
whenever people are reading it, I got it immediately as soon as I saw it. I like Elote Sando. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But people have a little struggle kind of sort of saying it, or maybe they don't get it until you.
Yeah, because they're trying to mix it like in Spanish and English.
Uh-huh.
So people would say Elote100do, Elote100do, and then others are saying Elote100% or something like that. So yeah, it's just funny. And then when I tell them, they're like, oh, wow. I feel kind of, dumb about it because it's like
Yeah.
so easy.
It's so
It's
easy.
so easy, but yet hard. I don't know.
That's
So,
pretty. It's interesting that people, like, even if they see something, sometimes they have to. It's right in front of them,
right?
but he
Yeah.
just passes them by, and it's crazy. And then you started
Yes.
coming up with the logo. How did the logo came about? Who did you go to? Did you go to a website?
No, it was me and my husband.
Yeah,
Yeah, we came up with it together.
yeah. And did
Yeah.
you use some like a graphic designer to create it? Did you use an app? Because there's a bunch of
Yeah,
different apps.
we have an app that we use for our custom designs because we also have like a woodwork
Yes.
page where we do custom wood designs.
Okay.
So we use that app.
Okay. We'll
And
talk about that one here in a little
yeah.
bit, but that one's interesting that you also have. I said, as I
Yeah.
mentioned earlier in the beginning, not only you but your husband, your whole family is like a very strong entrepreneur spirit. Do you
Mhm.
know where that comes from? Was your mom and your dad like that? Did they influence anybody in your family, deals, that you wanted to maybe create your own business?
No, to be honest, I feel like I'm first generation with this. I feel cuz I guess I started working really young when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
And since I am the oldest of four siblings, I was always the one that had to like, you know, be on top of everything, helping my mom out with everything with my siblings and helping her cuz she cleans houses and I had to go help her and stuff like that. Like and then I was like, "Well, I want to make money for me,
Right.
too." So I found a place where they accepted me at 15 and I guess it just started from there.
What was the first job?
I used to sell. You're not gonna believe it. I used to sell them little Yakult, the yogurts,
Mm-hmm.
the drinking yogurt.
The
I
little
think.
bitty ones
Yes,
with the red
Yakult.
top.
With the red
Yeah.
top. I used to sell them at different grocery stores.
So do you used
So
to put like a little table and sell them to
yes,
the public?
yes,
Oh, really?
yes, yes.
Wow.
Like
So
I used to give them out for samples and let them know what they're good for and stuff like that.
how did that come about?
So,
Did somebody meet you as a company that they place you and give you the product?
so actually, that came from some of my family. I believe my cousin was working for them, and she mentioned it, and I gave it a try, and they did hire me.
Really?
So
At
yeah,
15, so technically you had to have your parents' permission, but they allowed
yeah,
you to be out and about.
yeah.
Were you already moving around driving, or somebody was?
No, someone was driving me around. I think I started driving at 16. Yeah, like alone. So
Okay. So
yeah.
you started working, technically you already wanted to make money.
Mhm.
However, what about the entrepreneur, the businesses? I don't know how many have you got into. I know you do the woodwork. I know you do the elotes, but was there any other businesses that you were doing at the time or that you were diving into before this businesses happened?
No. No. Well, before the wood, I started with the balloons, the balloon work. Like I started with my son. I feel like my son was my inspiration to start something, and it started with his birthdays, like where I started making balloon art for his birthdays,
Mm-hmm.
and I started like promoting it, and people were reaching out, like more friends and stuff. And yeah, it started from there. I guess you can say the balloon work.
Okay. What made you
Yeah.
want to do the balloon? Was you getting compliments? What
Mhm.
something? I know that he was an inspiration, but there's an inspiration for him, you making it, but then there's the decision for you to actually see if you can do this, see if you can create
Mhm.
like a business and have it, put it out there, see if people will buy your services. When did that come about? Do you remember that?
Yeah, cause I remember posting a video of me doing it for my son's birthday, and some friends started reaching out. They're like, "Oh wow, that's pretty. How much do you charge and stuff like that?" And it just, happened. I didn't know, like, I didn't even know how to even begin to charge. Excuse me.
Hmm.
So I just went with the flow, I guess you can say,
Yeah.
and gave it a try.
So how
So.
long were you doing the balloon? So of course you Instagram create pages and start
Mhm.
creating the designs,
Yeah.
kind of sort of see the market. I'm sure you research what kind of
Mhm.
these prices are for, and then that's
Yeah.
how you started. How
Yeah.
how long was that for?
Um, I believe with the balloon work, it was for a few months. Um, and then we realized that, oh, wait a minute, like we can also add like wooden names, because backdrops have
Mm.
names and stuff. So that's where the wood work came about too. But yeah, the balloons was just for a few months. I'm still doing them. That's not my main focus right now. But I mean, if someone asks, like I can still do them.
Okay, let's go in sequence. Since
So
they started
yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
balloons led to the actual woodwork, and
Yes.
your husband is very crafty with it. He can
Yes.
make a lot of design.
Yes.
So yeah, started implementing the balloons with some woodworks, and yeah, I found
Mhm.
out that there's something that people are willing to
Yeah.
pay. They want it.
Mhm.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of room for custom things that you can make one of a kind piece.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? How did that transition go?
Well, because the balloon work wasn't getting us enough clients, I guess you can say,
Mm-hmm.
as many clients as we would wish to have. And when we started thinking about doing the wood names, that's when we started getting like more orders for the wooden names.
Mm-hmm.
So we started to focus more on the wood now, so
And
mhm.
what year about was that roughly around?
I believe it was like around COVID,
About
when we
2020.
weren't working. Yeah, we weren't working, and we had to think about ways how to, like, make money.
Right.
And yeah, because it was really hard for us then.
So at that time you start doing, and then you find out there's a lot of people. There's a high demand for that part. How good was it whenever y'all were going with the woodwork?
It
How many clients were coming in?
it was it was really good, actually. Like, we
Yeah.
couldn't even believe it. Like, from the first order that we lost money, but from that order, like, it gained so many orders from that order that we lost. Um
How did you lose it? What happened?
well, we lost money because we basically gave it for free. You know what I mean? But we
Was it for
we
promotional
yeah,
purposes?
yeah,
Okay. So
I
what
feel
was
like
that?
we did.
What was that situation?
So we didn't know how to price. One of our friends asked, if we could do a name, and it happened to be that he wanted like a big name. and we realized that basically that whole name took a whole wood of a whole sheet of wood.
Mm-hmm.
And well, yeah, I mean, we didn't really care, you know. We're like, oh wow, we really liked how it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I posted it, like, people started liking it and putting the orders in and stuff like that. So
So,
that's what.
were you trying to help out the friend because they wanted
Mhm.
something done? And how did
Mhm.
they know that y'all did woodwork? Just because of the balloon part too?
Yes, because of the balloon, and because we were already making it for like some parties with the balloon work, and it started from there. So the balloon work and the woodwork both, I guess, started um at the same time, around the same time.
So, out of
Um
necessity for their needs, because they wanted a bigger sign, you
yeah.
realized that y'all can make the bigger signs,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, people started liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then you
Yeah.
post it, and then clients start coming in.
Yeah.
And then how is, as far as like the material, everything else, and as far as your how much is your overhead and how much you seeing that you are making it, and is it profitable at that time?
Yeah, it was. It was. It was like really good. Like, we couldn't believe it. Like, we were
Yeah.
like, wow, this is something, you know. It was something new because we were expecting to get that from the balloon work,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't. And then we realized that the woodwork was, you know, it for us at the time.
And what's the name of that business that you have? It is there a particular name that you have for it?
Yeah, it's called R&ANDM_unique decor on Instagram.
One more time.
R&M_unique decor.
Okay, R&M Unique on the
And
core. That's the
yeah,
name of the company, but that's
R&M.
the tag on IG.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're doing that. You're doing that. Technically, you already made a business that is
Mhm.
people are liking. It's custom designs.
Yeah.
People haven't seen them, and you're still
Yeah.
getting clients out of there. But
Yeah.
when did you start beginning to want to transition to doing the Elotes? Because I know I remember we were talking. I believe it was the event that we had at the Heights, and I don't know if you were trying something different, but all of a sudden you decided to go with Elotes, if I recall correctly. Is that how it went?
Yeah, so when we decided to start something new, it was when the sales dropped for from the woodwork. So as sales went up, they went down. You know, it's a roller coaster with business sometimes. So sales were really low on the woodwork, and we were like, well, we should think of something else. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
can't just sit around. You know, I was trying to promote as much as I can, and nothing was coming in. Um, and then we
Were
were
you
like,
going to pay promotion at all? Were
I
you trying to
tried,
try, but
I
no
tried,
results?
but yeah. So I was like, well, what about something with food? You know, people always don't mind paying food, or siempre se les antoja algo, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So that's when the elotes came about, when we decided to um not give up, I guess, from the woodwork, even though sales were low. Um, but yeah, that's when we started to think about another business.
Was elotes the main one, the one that you wanted to go with, or was it something else and then you went into elotes later on?
No, so before the elotes, I tried cupcakes. I tried selling cupcakes because, one, when I was little, I was really interested in like baking. I've always watched baking shows and stuff like that, but I
Mm-hmm.
never actually gave it a try. So I was like, well, what about, I want to give it a try. You never know. And to be honest, like, they were they were pretty good, but I felt like it was so much time consuming,
Mm-hmm.
and sales weren't as good as I thought they were gonna be. So I was like, no,
What was
I
the
don't
name of
think
that particular company or that
it
business?
was. So I was making tres leches cupcakes,
Mm.
and
They sound yummy. I don't know why it
yeah,
didn't
no,
take off.
they were really good, to be honest,
Uh-huh.
but no se venden como los elotes.
Yeah.
I called it tres berry pastelitos.
Tres berry pastelito.
Yeah, because eran de tres leches y les ponía fresa dentro.
Fresa nomás o different type of berries? Just strawberry?
Just fresas,
Just
yeah.
strawberry?
And then lo decoraba con el betún arriba y fresas arriba y sprinkles and stuff. They're pretty good and they look cute, to be honest.
So you gave it a go. You wanted to bake. You, since a little girl, you will watch the shows. You gave it a go. It just didn't pan out.
Yeah,
Now you move into the elotes.
yeah,
So the elotes came
yeah.
and you started doing elotes.
Uh-huh.
The elotes, Carlos can vouch, are super delicious. I don't know
Thank
how many
you.
events had you done by the time I ran into you, but you started doing the elotes and you already had you got all kinds of stuff. Can you break down the menu of the things that you sell? And then first of all, I know you get plenty of compliments on your elotes. I don't want you to give out the secret, but what makes your elotes a whole lot better than others?
Like you can try it. Like I don't care. Like I can give you the recipe.
It's the love. It's the love.
Is the seasonings.
It's
to be honest, it's the lemon pepper.
I think it's the love
the
too.
lemon pepper.
I think it's the love to making the elotes. Okay, so break down the menu for you first. So Elote100do's menu, give it to me. What would that be?
So obviously elote en vaso, which is corn in a cup, and then I have. So that's the main thing I'm focusing in right now.
The
But
elotes?
just corn in a cup, elotes en vasos. But when I started like I started going to pop-ups and I started doing nachos and then hot Cheetos and then that preparados con elote, and people really liked it. So it was just an antojito que a mí siempre like me gustaba
Is
growing
anybody
up.
else doing that you've seen out and about? The antojitos preparados con elote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since I was a little girl, I remember like our parents taking us to like, different antojito stores, and I would always be interested in the elote and then with chips or nachos or stuff like that. So I
Okay.
guess it's just
So let's put it like this. You started off with a bigger menu, but throughout your experience of doing the business, you saw that the elote, the cup, is
yeah.
actually more profitable and maybe easier to make
Mhm.
than all the other
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
And you get to serve more people.
Yeah.
When did you find that
Exactly.
out whenever you were doing it?
I found it out when people started calling me for caterings.
Mm.
So, yeah. They specifically only wanted elotes en vasos. And I realized that it was much easier, less money I had to invest in and stuff like that. And yeah, but I
And
mean,
more profitable too
more
for the.
profitable. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay, break me down your elote. What is it? So again, I just, because he had like freaking. I had quite a bit of elotes too, but he had quite a bit, and other people that I know.
No, pero
go
a
for
ti no te
second.
gustan los elotes con todo, so you don't know how my elote really tastes in general. I remember
if you ever make, I hurt your feelings. My bad. Because ya no como like I don't milk, dairy products, none of that stuff. You know, so
No,
that's
yeah,
why.
it's okay. I understand.
So
Pero
that's
como
why
quiera.
I didn't. But he can vouch for me, and I believe his taste buds, Carlos' taste buds, that you like the elote. So what is it? Is it just the basic elote
Yeah,
that you
it's
do?
natural cut corn. Ya
Uh-huh.
está cortado.
I know that you are definitely enjoying this episode today. Subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and now back to the episode.
Y pues, you want me to tell you my recipe?
I mean, if you want to put it out there, I mean, I don't think it's.
No, I mean, no es, o sea, no es fuera del mundo, ¿sí me entiendes? Like, all you just need is natural cut corn, or you can get the corn on the cup and cut it, however is easier for you. And you just put a little bit of salt, mantequilla, mayonesa, sour cream, and the cheese. I feel like the cheese is one of the secret things for my elotes, because a lot of people have said, "Oh, like the cheese is really good" and stuff like that. And I actually found that cheese, en una bodega donde venden like todo tipo de Mexican food.
In
So
bulk?
it's called el queso enchilado. Yeah, so I don't know if that's the actual name, but that's how I call it when I order it. Yeah, but queso enchilado and a little bit of limon, salsa valentina, lemon pepper, and the cayenne pepper. So, yeah. There you
There's a
go.
whole secret. of the
No,
elote?
I mean it's pretty simple, you know, like no, to be honest, whenever I started, I felt like something was missing cuz I was like, yeah, it tastes good, but no, then I added the lemon pepper and I feel like the lemon peppers
Just set it off.
the yeah, to set it off.
Okay. Walk me through your first event. What
Mhm.
was the first event that you actually do? Did you start promoting that you're gonna do elotes, or somebody hit you up about elotes, or how does that go? And take me through your first event.
My very first event was a pop-up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I'm not really sure if I messaged the girl or she messaged me, but I believe I had already been promoting myself for them, or at least my logo with
Mm-hmm.
the elote. Um, but yeah, it was very like nerve wracking. Like I didn't. Well, I kind of already had an idea of what I was getting into because of the cupcakes,
Mm-hmm.
but since it was a whole different, snack, um I wasn't prepared like I thought I
Really?
was. Yeah. Um, I remember I always get late. I don't know why. Like, I need to work on my time management. I remember getting there late. I had the very cheapest crock pots you can find out there. I didn't know. And they took forever to like heat up.
Mm.
And I remember I was selling everything like the nachos, the hot Cheetos, and the elotes. And I remember putting the nacho cheese in the crock pot and then the elote on the other. And like it wasn't heating up. I was like, what is going on? And then
Too much juice.
yeah, I know because the crock pots took a lot like
It's just
to heat.
it was a
Yeah.
cheaper one,
It
so it
was a
wasn't a.
cheaper one, so I
Mhm.
didn't know what to expect, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, I actually learned a lot from that event, to be honest.
Was it a whole failure at all? Were you able to serve
Um,
people at all?
it wasn't a failure, but at the beginning, when we got there, I felt like it was. But then, as soon as everything started heating up, people were asking, like, I just went with the flow.
Yeah. Did you already have the recipe down at that time already, or todavía no?
I didn't have the lemon pepper.
No.
Mm-mm.
When did that
Everything
come?
else.
When did that come about?
I feel like it was after my second or third pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still feeling like in your palate and your mouth, you're like something's missing here todavía.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's go
Yeah.
back to the first event. So from that event, you learned the crock pot.
It was
It's
a
not
fail,
it.
total
It's
fail.
not
Yeah,
it.
it wasn't it.
So you went and invested on another
Yeah.
one,
Mm-hmm.
and then the second pop up. How did that one go? Bit smoother.
Yeah.
Were you on time that day?
I don't know if it was yours.
Might have been. Was it?
I
Were we
think
the second
so.
one?
Yeah,
You
you
were
were
on
one
time that day. You actually were.
I don't know if yours was the second or the third, but
Yeah.
I remember for your event, like by that time we remembered that we needed something more outstanding because at
Mm.
the very first pop up we had like the plain old boring tables, and
Ah.
since we're doing woodwork, Marco's like, well, I can make you a table, and he made me my custom table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the wheels and everything. There's a
the
second
very
generation
first,
now.
yeah, the very first one that he made me was the one we took to your
Yep.
event,
Yep.
the black and yellow one. So
Yeah, that one was a neat one. And
yeah,
then yeah, from the second event, I guess we were second or third event, one of the two.
yeah,
But
one
so
other two.
fine. So you didn't even have the final version, Carlos. I think at the
No,
DJ event he did have the other version, the one with the lemon pepper at that
with
time.
the DJ.
Remember you did the DJ one with Louis? It was a
Oh
scratch.
yes, 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 yes.
Okay,
I
so
think yeah, that was the one with the wheels already, but it was the bigger one, donde todavía estaba vendiendo los nachos.
yeah.
Um, but then after that one, he made me a smaller one, de puro elote.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I was there for your second one,
Yeah,
and
for
then
your
people
second.
were lining up. And I'm glad you sold out that day.
Yeah,
I'm glad they did. I was nervous. I don't know how many people expect, but
I
the people that was
know.
there, they really liked the elotes because they tore them up,
Yeah,
and
I'm,
even the tacos too. They sold out.
yes, the tacos. I'm never gonna forget that event, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna go with me hasta que me acuerde, to
Really?
be honest, because I feel like from there, like, me inspiré más. ¿Sí me entiendes? It was my first sellout. People were really like complimenting on the things that I was, selling. And then I think after your event, that's when the first catering customer contacted me. So yeah, your event was one for the books for sure.
I We have a video on our YouTube channel, just a little recap of the event that
Mhm.
we had. I thought it was a dope event. I would
Yes.
love to have more people in that event.
Yes.
But whatever we were able to put together, Louis, shout out to Louis
Yes,
and
Louis.
myself, because mostly just us two. We just kind of
Mhm.
sort of like, winged it. But we had a
Mhm.
great place. We had a great lined up. We had great artists. We had great vendors,
Mhm.
and they did amazing. I was
Yes.
able. He did good. The bartender did good.
Oh,
You did
yes.
good. The taco lady Melissa did
Mhm.
great. So and yeah, I mean, I love that the whole vibe of the
I
whole event, the
know.
spirit of the
I
event
loved
itself.
everything.
It was
Mhm.
freaking dope. Of course, I've wanted a whole lot more people, but I think the right people needed to be there.
Yes.
And then
Exactly.
I was nervous because I hope I get enough people that will be able to consume them with your time. I didn't
Mhm.
know your situation. I didn't know that you had just barely started. I didn't know what
Mhm.
I just like. Please let it be the people.
Oh,
Please let it
thank
be the people that they're
you.
hungry enough to be able to
Yeah.
eat the stuff.
Oh.
And sure enough,
Oh, thank
everybody that
you.
was there, I think every single person got something. And
Yeah.
then it was dope that like it was that. Like
Yes.
again,
It was perfect. It was perfect.
I think I was
I
telling you that
swear.
day is like sometimes you don't realize why you things that you do. You don't really understand it, but sometimes it's not the things that you do for you. It's just what it's gonna affect other people.
Exactly. Yeah,
How is it
and
gonna
I feel
affect other
like that
people?
that's just me in general. I don't really, I mean, I do care what I'm doing for myself, but I feel like I care more for others,
Yeah, yeah,
you
I
know.
like that. I appreciate the kind words you said. Yeah, lloró un poquito, but it was truly appreciated.
Thank
The
you.
fact that you were able to barely getting started on the Elote know that this
Mhm.
could be. So then you get hit up for a catering.
Catering.
How did that
Mhm.
go?
It went really, really like wow. I was mind blowing. I felt really like the place was perfect. The people, like they were Latinos. They had the Latin music, just the whole vibe in general. And I was like, wow, wow, I really like this.
By that time, you already had
And
it down as far as what you're doing, because you're
yeah,
only doing is elotes that day. So
yeah, I was just doing
you got down,
elotes.
you mastered now, pretty
Mm-hmm.
almost master, or you already mastered it because you had already done a lot of pop
Yeah.
ups. So you've been practicing this whole entire time. And then that
Mm-hmm.
day of the event, was it a wedding? Was it what was it?
It was a graduation party.
Was it a graduation party?
Mm-hmm.
And then all you do is serve elotes that day for like
Mm-hmm.
what, an hour or 2 hours?
Yeah, around there. It was for 50 people.
Yeah. And then at that moment, did you find out that the actual private events, even though the pop-ups are cool and the vibes is great, sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of the times those private events have a little bit more money. The budget's a
Yes,
little bit bigger.
and yeah, and it's worth your time. To be
Yeah.
honest, the caterings they're way more worth your time because with pop-ups, like it's a hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
And then since I started like during the summer, like summer heat here is insanely, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was just an experience overall, like selling during the summer. So I didn't I mean, I don't want to say I don't like it, but I wouldn't want to do that, in the summer. Like, I would rather be doing caterings, like indoors or, outdoors. If you want it outdoors, then I can do it outdoors too. But I would rather more focus on like the catering
Yeah,
side.
because even your carrito has a whole umbrella on it, a big old umbrella
Yeah.
too. Man, so but you're
Yeah.
right, it can't defeat the heat, especially.
Yeah.
So right now for the business Elote100, do you think it's you're aiming more towards private catering, private gigs and stuff like that, or are you still wanting to do the pop up, or do you have anything in mind as far as what else do you want to do with the business?
As of right now, I'm focusing more on the private events,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want to um focus more on like the business side of the elotes. Like I want to I say I want to create a storefront, but I feel like that's not my position right now. Like I want to focus more on like getting more like corporate offices, or more people to know what I have to offer first, so
Mm-hmm.
they can um know about me, recommend me and stuff like that. And then if I get to talk to the right people, then we'll see. I don't know, I'm still kind of undecided. Like I know where I want to be,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I don't know,
You
like
know
I
where
don't
you
know how
want
to
to be,
get
you
there.
know how to get there yet at the
I don't
moment.
know how to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, networking is a great way to be
Yeah.
able to connect with people. I don't know if you're doing
Mhm.
anything like that, but it doesn't require for you to be there. It's great whenever you're at an event and you get to tell people, pass your cards or scan your bar to take you or let you know
Yeah.
about it to your social media. But it's different whenever you just going and telling people about your business, passing out cards or scan, whatever the case might be, to be able to connect with people to
Yeah.
put you in different places,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if you're doing any of those, but
No,
I've seen them
I've
work.
thought about it. Like I've told my husband, I was like, man, we should like go out there and like, just send out some of our business cards like to some of the venues or some offices or stuff like that. But I don't know what's holding us back. I guess us mm, being rejected, or just I guess that thought, but actually networking, I don't think we've done so much. So I
Yeah.
guess I want to start with that first.
If you're an entrepreneur, your business, you get to learn to be comfortable with the rejection and no part a lot of
Uh-huh.
the times, because some people can't see the things that you already see as far
Right.
as what you want to do.
Right.
So
it's,
the funny thing
it's
is that the more
hard.
and more no's you get, that
Mhm.
it doesn't hurt as much. You know that the yes is really around the corner, and as soon as
Mhm.
you get the yes,
Exactly. That's
then
how I
it could
feel.
be
Yeah.
worth your time,
Mhm.
depending on what you're doing.
Mhm.
How many people, I don't know how many people you DMs about the business or whatever they didn't like, whatever the case might be. But at the end of the day, once you got there, they'll be able to see what you're able to do, taste what you
Exactly.
do, and
Yeah.
realize that they were worth,
Yeah.
referring you to people. Because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
now you get referrals, but people have tasted you. They know who
Yeah.
you are. You always serve with a smile. And then,
Mhm.
of course, the food is delicious. The elotes are great. So
Mhm.
they know what they get. And then eventually they're going to send you to somebody else. And they get them
Yes, of
bigger.
course. Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like my customer service is number one, on top of, how my food tastes.
Where does that come from? What did you get to learn? Was it from previous jobs that you realized customer service is a big deal for you to be able to satisfy? They say the customer's always right, but I say 99.9%. There's like a little bitty thing that sometimes they're not. But for the most
Right.
part, yes. But where did you learn that? Where did you get that from?
I feel like just growing up, I've always had like respect for others and stuff like that, and I would like to receive that respect back. So, yeah, just growing up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're the business, more better connections to be able to get into different places. And eventually, maybe in the near future, some kind of storefront, whenever
Mhm.
your brand, people know about you, know what you do, and they're asking you. I'm sure
Mhm.
whenever they start asking you when you store, I'm thinking it's about
Mhm.
that time. So,
Yes, for
yeah.
sure. No, cuz actually, like, I had already been thinking about this. I was like, we need to, do a party for someone. Not to say that nobody's important, but like, how social media and influencers are like very known right now. I'm like, man, I really wish I could, promote myself, and one of these influencers like sees my work or stuff like that. At least the ones here in Dallas and stuff like that. It's really hard to get their attention if you're like basically a nobody. But a few weeks ago, someone messaged me, and I didn't even know who she was and stuff like that. She was just asking, for a quote on my services and stuff like that. And yeah, we got to an agreement of what she wanted and stuff like that, and she went ahead and booked. And then next thing you know, like I looked at her page and I'm like, she's a blogger. I
Hmm.
was like, oh wow, I didn't even know she's a blogger. Like she's interested in our services. So I'm like, that's a start. Like, and moving forward, like I feel like our presentation has to do a lot. So because that's what's been getting people's attention, our elote cart. and also recommendations from other people that tried my elotes and stuff like that. So I feel like overall, like everything matters,
Yeah.
and we want to make our presentation even, more outstanding to the people that would like. We're not stopping.
You got the elotes drawn out to stick out.
Yeah,
What
we're
everything's
thinking about.
think about the heights, right? Everything was a
Uh-huh.
little place to take pictures. Everybody wants to be able
Yeah.
to take a cool picture at a place,
Yes, exactly.
So
Yeah.
you serve the elote, and by default, they're taking pictures with your
Uh-huh.
look because it looks great. Your cart looks amazing. So
Uh-huh.
post it, and you'll get the right attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
but
cool.
it's really hard to be honest because when I started, um I wasn't working, so I had all the time in the world, right? But then, things got complicated and I needed to get a full-time job, and I'm working like full-time Monday through Friday, and I basically only have like weekends. So it's really hard to like have two businesses and put as much as attention. You know, I know right now I'm not putting as much attention to my businesses like I wish I would have, but with the little time that I am, like, it people are noticing, and I feel like I'm very proud of that regardless.
Yeah, most definitely.
Mhm.
What about the wood business? What are you the crafting business? What are you working on that? Are you reamping it? Are you just still doing the same? Are you gonna able to offer different services? What you have going on? It seems like it was working. You just need a little bit more promotion on that part.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have our woodwork hanged on their walls, like literally. Like we've had so many orders, especially like the custom logo name signs,
Mm-hmm.
like with the logos, like the with the cowboy stars and the sports logos and stuff like that. Those are our number one seller right now for the woodwork. So we would like to get that like out there to more people to notice it. Um
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely want to continue with the woodwork as well. We've been having doing the woodwork for like 4 years, 3 4 years.
2024 now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we're not stopping there. Like just because you don't see me promote or stuff like that doesn't mean that we're not thinking of better ways to just get our businesses out there, and so people can notice it and
Yeah.
see that we're putting work.
Yeah, I think it's just the consistency
Yeah,
part. You
it
just always
is.
have
It
to
is. It's hard.
you always have
Mhm.
to put stuff out in order for people to notice it, in order for you to realize what you're doing. Because if it goes a week, 2 weeks without you doing, it seems like you disappear.
I know.
So
I know.
the algorithm take. I heard somebody think algorithm, the people that is open to not like an algorithm, but think of the people that would like to see your image and open up to seeing your stuff and staying there. So
I
if
know.
you don't post stuff, nobody's gonna
Yeah.
see it. Or
Exactly.
and it's where we at, the type of
Yeah.
world that we live on now, right? We have
Yeah,
to
I
post
know.
constantly for people to be able to see that you're doing. And even if it's
Easy.
recycled stuff, like
I
here's
know.
some for
Even
like
if
two
it's
years
like,
ago.
oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's what my husband is saying. Like, we haven't really seen this picture posted again. And like, I hear him tell me, but at the end of the day, like, I don't want to say like I don't have the time, but it's just, I'm so like worked up, and
yeah,
it's hard. It's hard being a full time, having a full time job, full time wife, mom, business, you know, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. It's hard, but um, n- that's still my priority. Like my priority right now are the businesses because I know I mean the woodwork, like our work speaks for itself. Like people have our designs in their home, and I feel like that's what's making me um m- be more inspired, like not give up, like, oh, just because I don't have the time. No, I need to make time,
there you
you
go.
know so
There you go.
I
So
need
you
to
already
tell
know what
that
you need
more
to
to
do.
myself. Yeah, like, no, I need I know I'm telling you this, but no, I already know what to do. So it's like the gym, we were on and off and stuff like that, but now we're making time. We can literally make time for anything if we put our minds into it and just focus on what is the right path, moving
Make sure
forward.
you replay this part whenever you're finding yourself that
I
you're lacking a
know.
little bit to what I need to
Yes.
do. Like I remember I was saying this because this is what it is, and it's
No,
not
it
only to
is.
you; it's to
Yeah.
everybody that has the dream, has the passion, has a
Mhm.
business, has a
Yeah.
entrepreneur, whatever the case might be, whatever you want to. If you have a goal,
Mhm.
the only way you're not gonna get there is if you don't do nothing for it. If you're gonna get to it, even
Or
if it's
yeah,
steps little small, but you'll get there.
you're good.
But it's guaranteed you're not get there
Just
if you
put the
don't do
work in.
nothing.
Yeah.
If you don't do nothing, if you don't move it, guarantee you're not gonna
Yeah.
make it there.
Yeah.
But if you do,
Yeah. Yeah.
it might take you a little longer than you expected. But if you stay disciplined with
Yeah.
doing it, you'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll
Una
get there.
cosa es de decir que quieres hacer algo y otra cosa es de hacerlo o tratar de hacerlo. Aunque a lo mejor de principio no te vaya bien, like, no dejes que eso te traiga para abajo, ¿sí me entiendes? Like, a lo mejor no siempre todas las cosas van a salir como tú piensas, pero tienes que echarle más ganas. Si esa cosa no sirve, okey, piensa en otra cosa que puedas hacer, ¿sí me entiendes? Es
Yeah.
you have all the time, so yeah.
You're talking to yourself, not talking to me. I'm just saying. All right, we're running short on time. Thank you so much for coming to share your story. Tell us about what you do.
Mhm.
Make sure you go find her. Every single person that comes out that has a business, I would love to support them and have as much as I can. Whenever I see somebody that needs somebody, like "Hey, I know somebody, and
Mm.
I just send them to y'all, send them y'all's
No,
way.
thank
So
you.
whatever happens, it'll be great if they use your services to anybody that comes over here. But I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
What is all the social medias? Tell me, where can they find you? Do you have any events coming up here probably in next month or so? What would that be?
My social media for the elotes on Instagram is Elote100do, Elote siendo. And my woodwork page for Instagram is R&M_unique decor. And yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So
What is any shout outs, any saludos, anything that you have for anybody?
um well, shout out to you for having me today.
Absolutely. Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Regardless of me like being so nervous to be here, like I feel like, you got me to say things that I really needed to say to myself. So
I should have been a psychiatrist or a shrink or something. Nah, it's not at all that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's uh, it's what you do. It's what you're doing. It's what you've been
Mhm.
doing. It's just not trying anything. You've been doing it. Of course,
Mhm.
you're figuring out some of the things you need to figure
Yeah.
out to make it better, but you've been
Yeah.
doing it. The word try to me is so cringe, so weird because I try. Like, no, you were doing it. Even if you're stumbling through doing the thing, you are doing it. Granted that
Mhm.
you might not be a master at it yet, but you are doing it.
Yeah.
Stop saying try, because to me, it's like a mental blockage to try. Like, I'm trying now, you're doing it. You're figuring out as you're going through, and eventually you're going to get there. But trying is like, oh, I'm barely, como que, ahí voy. Like, no, like doing it now. You're doing it. Just
Yeah.
regardless of whatever it is it you're doing it? To me, personally, try. The word is so freaking weird. It's just do it. When you begin, you try. But
Mhm.
once you start going, you are doing. There's no more
Wow.
trying. You're
Sí. I
doing it.
guess todavía no me la creo.
Yeah, but you've been doing it.
Yeah. My
So
husband always tells me like, "This is all you." I was like, "What do you mean? Like it's us. Like if I didn't have your support, like your back, like I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest."
shout out to the hubby.
Yeah.
He's here in the house. Supportive is amazing that he supports you as well
Mhm.
too. But I think I make a great team as far as like, because the cart wouldn't stand out if
Mhm.
he wasn't, because the way the work he does. The
Yes.
signs wouldn't be a sign.
Mhm.
You the promoter, the ones that puts the stuff out in marketing. But
Yeah.
you couldn't sell anything if he doesn't
Yeah,
make
we're
them.
a teamwork.
You
Like
know what
we're
I
meant to
mean?
be, seriously.
So yeah, I was watching, because before I get people in, I start going through this stuff, see if
Mhm.
anything pops into mind, anything, and I saw the post of together. It was long. I ain't gonna tell you I read the whole thing,
Oh, thank
but
you for taking the time to read it.
I didn't read the whole thing.
Oh, you didn't?
I read
Okay. I
most
thought
of
you
it,
said you did.
but I got to the good part.
Okay.
As far as like the way that y'all got together, that it was
Mhm.
gonna be introduce you to a friend, but it ended up happening that way,
Yeah.
and then it was
It was
pretty cool.
crazy.
And then you went pour your heart out, and it was
Mhm.
awesome and amazing to do so. And
Thank you.
again, I think y'all are a team. I don't know y'all's personal business, but I know that as
Mhm.
far as what y'all been doing, y'all make a great team together, and y'all been
Thank
doing
you.
amazing things. You
Mhm.
know, I don't know how to create anything with wood. I I might make an elote, but I don't know if I can make it as good as you. You know, but
Mhm.
the way you promote it, the way he does this thing,
Mhm.
definitely it's a
Yeah.
team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and believe it or not, like he started off with just a scroll saw, and
Mm-hmm.
then a jigsaw.
He's crafty.
And then we had to invest in una máquina donde like actually like he just moves it with his hands and
Yeah.
stuff like that, which is much easier. But we're thinking of investing in a laser. Like that's our next move for the woodwork. So
Nice.
yeah, because the laser like you can do anything and everything solo. ¿Sí me entiendes? Yeah,
And then the
you just push the
painting,
button. Oh, so the painting we do ourselves. We
yeah,
hand paint everything.
hand paint.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no spraying, just mostly hand.
Um, what we what we spray paint is basically just the name cutouts that don't have like
Mm,
any designs or
like the
anything.
stencils and stuff.
Yeah.
Ah,
So the ones with like the logos, we hand paint everything.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely make a great team. Great.
Thank you.
What is a very important lesson that you learn as a businesswoman that you will tell your younger self that will help somebody else out? What would that be?
Wait, can you repeat that question again? I'm
What would
sorry.
you tell your younger self that something that you learned doing the business, being a businesswoman, about whether it be the lotes or whether it be woodwork, that you will tell your younger self something that you learned that will help somebody else out? What would that be?
Um, to never give up. Like, um, my younger self would never have thought that I would be an entrepreneur. I guess. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna get emotional. Um, I guess life. I mean, just showed me the way. I've been through so much, and I guess now I can say that I'm proud of myself, and you know, as everyone should feel about themselves.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
No, está bien. Sorry about that. But yeah, you should be proud of yourself, and I'm proud that I got to meet and I've seen what you've done so far. So I don't know you like that, but I'm proud
Mhm.
that the fact anybody takes a leap on doing something
Mhm.
and doesn't care if it fails or not, it still
Yeah.
does it, and it's great.
Mhm.
It's great. So I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Mhm.
And this one's a little, no quiero que siga llorando, pero esta
I'm
más pesada todavía. So
so
usually when I wake up, I say something along the lines that I'm not immortal. I am mortal, and I will die one day. That's not to scare me, frighten me out, terrify me, or bringing death into me. But it's a reality in life, right? We're
Yeah.
here, and then we're not, and
Mhm.
that's just gonna happen. But what makes me do is makes me reflect and hurry up and do stuff.
Mhm.
Figure and get stuff going. With that, I wish you a long, prosperous life. However, when everything is said and done, what do you want people to think and feel about your life?
Wow, that's a good question. To be honest, that's a good question, but I don't I don't know how to answer that right now, to be honest. I don't know how to answer that right now. I
It's
don't
cool.
know.
Some people
It's
don't give it. They don't give it. They don't what anybody
yeah, I
thinks. And some
mean,
people are just want people to remember them to that they always smile, they always willing to help,
yeah, I
whatever the
guess
case.
just the person that really was, just myself. I've never tried being anyone else or more than anyone else, like just me, you know. I'm simple, I guess you could say.
You good?
Yeah.
We're not gonna run into anytime I get to see you, you're gonna cry. I'm gonna make you cry.
No,
So
I'm
I
sorry. It's
appreciate.
just
No, it's nothing to be sorry about, because
um
it's something deep that you have been. It's something deep that you have realized. You reflect on your life, and the person that you were back then wouldn't see yourself, and I think it's an amazing thing to be able to see you grow
yeah.
from that time of you not able to do or not doing that to be able to do this.
Mhm.
It's a big deal. It is a big
Mhm.
deal for people, because some people don't. Some people are just with whatever they do, satisfied with whatever, and are willing to take a leap because they feel rejection. They feel it's
Yeah.
going to be hard and
Yeah.
it's not for them, and they just stay where they're at. And then there's
Yeah.
people that are willing to take leaps, take chances, try out different things until the things they hit, and then they go into it and
Yes,
they become a better person.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's not only just the part of beginning something, right? It's the part of the journey that you have to go through for you to get here. When you began doing whatever is the first balloon thing,
Mhm.
it began a path of something
Mhm.
that kept shaping you and kept pushing you into
Yeah.
beginning to do something like this. That I feel you are successful because you're seeked. People are looking for you. Of course, there's always more exposure and stuff like that. But the
Mhm.
work that you already do, and the fact that you get to make something that makes people happy and
Mhm.
sell it as a product, with even having the remote idea that you were going to be able to do that one time, is an amazing thing. So it's not just having to do it, is the whole growth that you get to be here and to do so. So I don't think you would be the same person. You're not the same person if you didn't decide to just begin to
Yeah.
do that.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
And I feel like ever since I can remember, like I feel like rejection has always been part of my life, and now like like you said, rejection shouldn't be, your thought of like not going out there to like, giving business cards, because I did mention, I was like, maybe I haven't done that more because I don't want to hear rejection and stuff like that, but that shouldn't be, the excuse for me, just giving it a try. So I feel like rejection has taught me a lot um at this stage of my life. So
it's always a numbers
yeah.
game too. The more people
Mhm.
you get to talk to,
Yeah,
out of
and the
10,
people.
one will be two. Depending on how many messages you get. Maybe not all of
Mhm.
them go, but out of 20 messages, one will book. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And they're a
Yeah.
good person to work with. So it's just
Yeah.
always going to be like that in business.
Yeah.
It's a numbers thing.
Yeah.
And I get excited when I get a no, because I know that my yes is getting closer, and it's
Right.
going to be something that
Yeah.
it benefits me. So it doesn't feel good in the beginning, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. You have
I
to
come
move
with the
forward.
best intentions to be able to tell you
Yeah.
something that I'm doing and this and that. You know how many? Okay, when I started the podcast 3 years ago. We're going on 3 years on May. When I first started sending messages, there was reds, unseens, nothing,
Man.
nothing. I used
Mhm.
to have to message 20 people to get one people, and then with the hopes of people not canceling on me the last minute, because I
Mhm.
think that I have a great platform. I think we have amazing things. We've been working on it so much. And then your little dream gets crushed little by little.
I know.
If you think that, right? That somebody's not wanting to come talk to you. But then you realize that other people are telling other people. The first one we
Yes.
get to do, it looks great, and they tell their people. Other people are tapping it. Now we get constantly people that are wanting to be. We still, I'm still kind of selective. Now I can be selective of the people that I want to put in there, because they can tell a story. If in the beginning, if I would have stopped because there's a few people that didn't read my message and I took it personal, then I would not be here 3 years
I
later.
know.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's business. It's just business. It's not even personal. It is what it is.
It is what
The
it is.
person cancel, they didn't need to be here. The people that need to be here will be here, such
Mhm.
as yourself and the rest of the guests that have been here before. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
believe me, I
And
get a
to
lot
be
of no's.
honest, before I came here, I thought about canceling you. No, 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 don't take it personal. But no, no, it's because like
No. It's
I
not. It's
was so
natural though. But it's
nervous.
natural. It's
Like
okay.
I even told my boss, I was like, oh my god, like because she asked me like if I could stay later, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess I can. I have a podcast interview like at 7, so I guess I still have time. And she was like, "Oh my god, no way!" Like, congrats or whatever. And I was like, I'm nervous. I don't even know if I want to go." And she's like, "No, don't be. Like, you're fine." But here we are.
Here we go. And we almost done. Look, since I met you before, like the moment that we met you, you DM me. I swear, I didn't have no intentions to get anybody else for food because I had a person for food,
Yeah.
and they were kind of exclusive. But I'm like, I think we can squeeze it in here. I love this. But again, in the back of my mind, it's like I wish there's enough people to be able to buy stuff, and it's not a flop for y'all.
Yeah.
So everything turned out great. You sold
Thank
out.
you.
Everybody did, and I was like, just like you were nervous to send out a message to see something the same way that I was
No.
on getting y'all to come because I wasn't gonna pay y'all. It was gonna be whatever y'all made. I
Yeah.
wasn't charging. I don't think
Mhm.
I charged you if I didn't charge you, but if I
No.
didn't, it was just with like, look, I don't know how it's gonna turn out.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I remember.
I don't
Yeah.
like telling people
I
or gassing
remember.
people up. Oh yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
have the biggest
no.
crowd,
And
whatever. I was honest. I told you, look, I
yeah.
don't know,
No, and I
but
appreciate your honesty because I feel like in the vendor world, there's just a lot of people trying to take advantage of, others, you can say, because I've been through it,
yeah,
and because these vendor fees are insanely high right now.
really, what they
And
shooting for right now?
sometimes I think it's like over 100 most of them. Yeah. And I'm like, I understand that you were selling something, but we don't know, like, you don't even know how the turnout is gonna be. And sometimes, like, I think there's been several ones where I've lost money.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
true. And again,
So,
because I know the effort of the vendors
mhm.
coming to, I don't know,
Yeah.
and I told like, hey, I'm not gonna charge you a fee. Whatever you keep, you get to make. I don't know. It's
Mhm.
possible it will be good. It's possible it might
Yeah.
not be so
No,
good.
I appreciate your honesty.
So
Yeah,
again,
that's why, like, cause whenever I started, like, I would be looking, like, every morning I'd be looking like, "Oh, who needs a vendor? Like, do you have a spot? Like, I'm down,"
you went on a
stuff like
run.
that.
You
Yes,
went
I
on a
was.
run for
And
like
then now,
every day.
yes, and then now, like, I don't even look for events. Like, they look for me, and I make sure, like, to ask all these questions from the experience that I've been through. So,
Oh, I remember you was in a run for a minute. You were in a
yeah,
run for I think
yeah.
even Thursdays, Wednesdays, pop up, Saturdays, Sundays,
Yeah, I was looking
like a
even for
lot.
weekdays.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it was like it's a lot of work.
It is.
But
It is.
yeah, luckily again, blessed that we were able to have a great event that time. Blessed that we were able to
Thank
meet ya.
you.
I don't
Yes.
know you personally like that, but the moment that we get to talk and your husband, yeah, were great people to me.
Thank you.
And I'm glad it was great. And without a shadow of doubt, I wish you nothing but the best of luck to your business. I hope this works for you, that you'll be able to get some business.
Mhm.
And without a doubt, Rosa, you are a global Latin factor with Elote100do.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember to subscribe. Don't play no games. And remember, we are just like you. We are humans. We are the spice in this melting pot. That it is the world. Till next time. Bye.
Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. Check out the content and the episodes that we have ready for you. Thank you very much. Till next time.
Walks like a pero but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana and from Puerto Rico on a pirate ship.